What up, y'all? Today we're going to be talking about the different career paths in tech sales. There's so many ways that you can take this one role. I just want to explore it. I want to see what we can do in this role and how far we can take it. So let's get into it. You got to get into tech. All right, so like I said, we're going to be exploring the different avenues and career paths that you can take in tech sales once you get in, because you have to learn this role inside and out, not just the role, but the actual company that you're working for. It makes you the best person to be able to go throughout the company if that's what you really want to do. If you think about other roles in companies and things like that, most people, they only have to learn like a specific part of the business or like a specific section of the business, not necessarily like the whole inside and out of what that company does. I mean, there are even roles that, if you're a janitor, technically you don't have to know anything about the business. Now, up front, there is a simple path, right, that you can take in tech sales that will get you promoted and get you a high income and things like that. But there might be different routes that you want to take as you go on the journey. And this is just opening it up and letting you know, hey, it's not just this one straight path. There's a boatload of other different routes that you can take as well from this one role. So I want to show you the big picture of this whole thing, right? And I'm going to be real with you. If you go in the nitty gritty, it can get a little bit overwhelming to look at because there's so much potential and opportunities, but that can be a positive overwhelming, okay? At the end of the day, that is a good problem to have, because I would definitely rather have more choices than being stuck in one role with no signs of growth, no choices to expand and grow in any kind of near future, and minimal raises, just clocking in, clocking out. But I mean, if that's your thing, I can definitely rock with it. And by the way, guys, I just wanted to say I appreciate you for popping in. I'm Tech Bag Trey. And like I was saying, tech sales has one of the most diverse career paths that you can take. I mean, you can work your way up the sales ladder, going from SDR, BDR, all the way to enterprise account executives, all the way to the VP of sales, all the way up to the CEO. I mean, if we're being real, salespeople have been known to transition into all kinds of business roles, from resources to customer success, marketing. It's just a really diverse path that you can take. I mean, it can even take you into entrepreneurship. So unless you have some sort of background in sales or, something like that can really translate well, you're gonna start at the entry level tech sales role, which is sales development rep. Another name that they call that is business development rep. So that's SDR or BDR. Now, this role is normally ran in either an inbound sales or outbound sales capacities. I know the outbound sales capacity, but if you want to know about the inbound role and what that maybe entails, where the leads are coming inbound and you're reaching out to them to make sure that they're a great fit for the company. So when you're starting at this SDR role, it does come with pretty good money, right? On average, you could be looking at starting at around $70,000. There are plenty of people who have been getting roles in that position with that amount. So you definitely can. It's not unheard of there. But with this role, I mean, the things that you learn just being in this entry level position is actually very valuable, right? You have the opportunity to learn how to pitch. You have the opportunity to learn, like I said earlier, about your product, about your company's business, right? And really learn what you all do and how it can help potential clients, the value of your solution that you have for the market. You learn how to territory plan. So everyone has different territories, and you learn how to really work certain areas of not just the USA, but sometimes you're working at companies that target the globe, right? So you really learn how to manage that and grow that. So it's really also about how to manage and mature a sale, right? You're the beginning, and you get that person in the door by setting up a meeting. So that's all you're really doing in this role, is you're capturing someone who might be a good fit for your company's product, and you're setting them up with a meeting with that account executive. And that's what you're doing in this role. This episode is brought to you by Course Careers. You've been thinking about getting into a new career and going into tech. now is the time. Course Careers is the easiest and most cost-effective way to do it. And the best part is there's no degree required. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code. And if you want to support the channel, use the code TREY50 at checkout for $50 off. Look, everybody wins. Let's get back to the show. Now, speaking of account executives, once you actually built up some skin in the game and you have a strong base level of sales and things like that in your first role as an SDR, BDR, then the typical career path would be to move into either the account manager position or an account executive role. On average, you're normally in a SDR, BDR role anywhere from 6 to 18, 24 months. It really depends on the company. It really depends on your skill though. So in the account executive role, you're going to be dealing with prospects and really cultivating relationships from cold prospecting. You're really going to gain more skills in territory and learning how to plan and branch out and form more relationships and then closing the deals. As an account executive, you're going to be partnering with sales engineers to really close deals for the company. So with that, it definitely comes with more money than the SDR role. Definitely not unheard of to see account executives making multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, for sure 6 figures. So, and I spoke about going from the SDR to the account executive and that being 6 to 18 months. But really, while you're in these roles, you're going to be having milestone levels of role, jumping and getting promoted in that. So you'll have mid-market promotions, you'll have corporate promotions in the SDR role, more than likely, unless it doesn't have it. Or once you get to the account executive role, then yes, you will have small business, mid-market, and corporate account executives. And basically, that's just the size of companies that you work with in that company, right? So every business is not huge. There are companies that are considered small business, and there are people who specialize in talking to and cultivating relationships with small business companies. And same goes for mid-market, same goes for corporate or enterprise level businesses, like the really, really gigantic, huge companies, right? There are people who specifically work for those and work with those companies in your company. So you will have those types of raises and those types of promotions while you're going on this journey as well. And then once you're in the account executive role for a while, maybe there are some people who decide that, hey, I want to go and be a channel manager or alliance manager. So as a channel manager or alliance manager, you're actually working with partners to collaborate with your company, and they will help sell your solution across the country. Okay. So in other words, you partner with a company that their whole job is to get what your company sells out and across the whole country and sell it for you as well. These are channel managers who manage that portion of the business and helping getting that word out. And by the way, guys, there are ways for you to get experience as an SDR or as an account executive and then go the independent route. So you can go into tech channel sales as an independent SDR or account executive and really work for yourself. You can sell multiple products from different tech companies across a broad range without being stuck and held down to just one specific company. And not to mention, you can get paid in different routes, right? There are companies that you can sell products for that pay you monthly instead of a one-time fee. Now, like I said, this is more of the entrepreneurial route, right? You're doing this as an independent, but you can really make bank if you know what you're doing. So it's a way to own your own business and make a lot of money. And if this is a new concept to you, or your ears kind of perked up a little bit when you heard me talk about the independent SDR or account executive in the channel space, go check out my homie Joseph over at Tech Niche. Okay, he just did an interview with an award-winning channel manager, Ty Smith. Okay, and they talked all about it, and it really went into detail on what that consists of and how to start, how to get in, how to really grow from there, right? and get your skills as well as get to the bag. So after that, people who really prefer to kind of stick on the creative side of prospecting, they really tend to move into the marketing side of things, and you can go and be a marketing manager. And this role can really, it can be involved in all different types of marketing activities, from brand awareness to hosting events, inbound, outbound, lead generation, all these different types of things. And because you've had that baseline at your company, you know what you sell, you know what problems other companies are having and how that can be fixed with your product. Why not you as the marketing manager, and knowing these things and being able to get that word out in the best way possible, that they will be compelled to make a move. So that's also a route. And then ultimately, for people who just tend to prefer to just really take on that coaching role, right? That big bro, that big sis that really wants to see people win and help people grow, you can take on that team leader position as the BDR team lead or the team manager. And in that role, it's just like it says, right? You're in charge of leading, and you're responsible for leading one group or the whole group of SDR, BDR reps, helping them to cultivate their skills, get better, keep them in the game, right? Encouraging them and just really growing them, and ultimately helping them make these decisions on what route they might want to take in the company as they continue to get better over time. Now, I know I don't have all day with you, right? These were just a few paths that people could take just from starting in the entry-level role in tech sales as SDR, BDR. But I want you to pause the video and take a look at how many different roles and routes that you can take from this one position in tech sales. Is crazy, and not just at the company you start with, but really anywhere.